some of our students have had some significant losses in their lives, and they've shown interest in kind of learning how to deal with loss. So the grief counselor, her name is Maria Anderson, she came in to speak to the students about the grieving process and the normalcy and the cycle of life.
I'm a chaplain at 2 hospital units where I work with at Hialeah Hospital, and I work at Jackson North Hospital, and I'm in a place where there are families and patients that are dying, and the families are there with them. And I'm just there. Sometimes I will just sit and talk about whatever. I hear their people's life story, whatever their life story has been and what brought them here. And it's not usually with a person that's dying. It's usually mostly with families who are really in need of somebody just to listen to them. I work with people when the times when their families or they are dying, and we get to help them, through their feelings and through their thoughts, and try to learn and try to be present for them, try to sit with them and listen to them. In many ways, people think of it terms of like it's religious, and it can be. I can perform certain ceremonies and things like that, but what I believe the work of a chaplain is just to be here. If you're having a problem and you're in my inpatient unit and you want to talk to me, that's a chaplain. I listen. I listen with my ears, I see with my eyes, and I feel with your heart. And hopefully, even if I don't say a word and I just listen, I hope that can be the comfort for families. And sometimes they ask me what I think, and I try to make it as much a question back at them to think what they think, to help them think about their own heart, their own pain that they're suffering right now, and somebody they love is dying.
I guess the bottom line with a lot of what you have come to is to adjust people to death, and death as a part of life.
That's right.
And that it's not something we don't talk about, it's not something we put into a closet or anything like that, but it's,
right.
It's not that it's a happy thing, but that it's a part of life. So I'm wondering if there are particular sentiments that at this point you can tell all of us that you've learned toward that end.
How many of you have experienced somebody who's died in their life? Okay. What did you all feel, one at a time? What are some of the emotions you have felt?
Well, my friend was run over by a car the middle of July, and when I heard about it from one of my friends, it just made me emotional. And then the other day when my friend was teaching us how to meditate and she put music, it really hit me immediately, and I felt like going outside and crying my eyes out.
Music, so you became emotional and the music
Yes.
reminded you?
Yes,
Okay.
it reminded of me because his funeral was last Saturday, even though I was sleeping at my best friend's house, and it just real hit me. I must have been crying for 3 or 4 weeks in my house just because how emotional I am. So I'm still kind of sad over his death. He was about 19 or 20 years old.
Thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
That's all okay. Crying and feeling sad is all okay. Who wants to go next? Listen.
My mother died when I was 17, and it made me feel like I didn't want to live anymore, because she was mostly like my life. I was like this with her, like she was my best friend and everything, and
I'm so sorry, because moms are really special. But I think it's really important it's okay that you cry, and it's okay you feel sad, and it's okay that all of those things that you've talked about, and we'll continue to go around the room. But yes, and I think when you have a loss like that, you need time. It doesn't mean that doesn't bring your mom back, unfortunately, or your friend, or anyone who's lost somebody. It's always hard. But see, if we go around the table with the folks who have shared, how hard it is. You feel crying, you feel pain, you feel music can energize a memory, your memories of those person.
About
Some
your,
music that will
the good
remind me of
times
my
with your
mom.
dog.
Exactly, you have
I'm
memories.
just telling you because I told
And
that to
in
her.
all of those things, all those emotions are okay. When I work with people whose family members are dying, they'll cry, and sometimes people don't want to talk about it. But then things can change, and you can remember. Maybe you can have even a good laugh over a beautiful memory with your mom, or
My mom made baby videos.
Well, he came with that.
oh, you have baby videos.
Yeah.
See, those are beautiful. Do you ever watch those videos, or how does that make you feel?
It makes me happy to see her, you know,
Yeah.
like and sometimes I forget how her voice sounds.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
I like turn it on and then I hear her laugh, and it makes me happy to hear her laugh.
Nature links, we're all about nature ultimately.
Right.
In a number of different ways, in terms of cooking, in terms of gardening, in terms of beauty.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I'm just thinking, as a healer,
Right.
you know, a healing agent, if that's the way to put it. Nature and the beauty of nature and surrounding oneself with nature.
Saving animals from being killed.
Well, yeah,
Yes.
all these things.
All those things.
You know, all those things I think can really draw upon the good memories of other people too that may have passed away.
If you look at a sunset or a sunrise, this beautiful display of nature, the earth, you know, rotating, you've got this amazing thing that goes on and it reminds you of life, the beginning of a day. Sunset is the quieting of the day, the cycles of life. It's beautiful. You look at plants. I look at a rose and I think of my grandmother who had rose gardens. I think nature is a display of life. And so there's a great opportunity there for you all to explore life and death, because plants die also in that way, differently, but and whether it's a death is sudden, whether a death is long, it's still pain no matter what. And people always want peace. And what I always tell people is that the best friend they have is time. If you never forget the person you love or the pet that you lost, because I will always feel sad for my little babies that I had to put to sleep. But time and remembering, I think turns sometimes tears to laughter and good memories, and puts that sad moment, because sadness is part of life, but there's also happiness of the things that we got left. My mother and dad, I remember them every day.